Well, we find ourselves here in Maine, at Turtle Island. Turtle Island is central Maine towards the coast. But, uniquely enough, we are here at a historic event of healing of the hemisphere in the first dawn area. And that's the first place the sun comes up. And we have run into an incredible person of Dawn Eagle.
Morning Eagle.
Morning Eagle. I told you I'd goof it up. Morning Eagle. And he has a story for us, and it's so parallel my life in ways. I'm not saying he had it harder or better, but it strikes me to the bone. But I also have rumors that you're quite the swimmer, so I'd love to, if you don't mind,
Sure.
talk about that.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. I was born April 9th, 1971 in Saskatchewan, Canada, and what happened to me the day of my birth is the Canadian government came in and they stole me from my mom and from my dad. And they put me in an orphanage 800 miles away in Ontario. And there I stayed for years until I was adopted out by a white American family and brought to the States. It wasn't until 32 years later, actually let me back up. At 27, my adopted mother had passed away from cancer. And I can remember being at her funeral, and I can remember looking down at her for the last time, tears coming down my face. And this was the last lesson that she ever taught me. She taught me a lot of lessons. She was a really wonderful mother. She taught me what grieving and mourning really was. And I'm grieving and I'm mourning her right there. But I realized that I had been grieving and mourning my entire life and didn't even know it. That day was the most pivotal day of my life because I realized I wasn't mourning one mother, I was mourning two. I thought that was really, really unfair that I had lost two mothers in one lifetime. And so I went ahead and I started looking for my birth mother. And 7.5 years later, I found my birth mother. Nora Smoke. I went up and visited her for the first time at 32 years old, and I was able to say, I love you for the first time. And I can remember that was one of the first times that I ever really meant it, you know. I had so much love for her, and there's a bond between mother and child that's never broken. And I found that out firsthand when I was holding my mom, telling her that I loved her, and that I was always going to be with her. And kind of fast forward to about 2 weeks ago, I was sitting at home and I got a message. It was from this woman who I didn't know, but she was from Saskatchewan, so I took the message, and the message read that your father is looking for you and wants to see you before he dies. And so I called that number right away, and within 20 minutes I was speaking to my dad for the first time. At 47 years old, I told my dad that I loved him for the first time. I could feel the shame in his voice about not being there, and I said, that's okay, you're here now, and now is the most important time there ever is. And so anyway, we made plans to go up. I'm going up and seeing him for the first time. I'll be traveling to Saskatchewan, and I'll be going to rain dance with him. So my first days, minutes, and hours with my father will be at ceremony. So I'll be going up in about 2 or 3 weeks to go see my father for the very first time and hold him and get to tell him that, one, that I forgive him, and two, that I love him, and three, that I'll always love him.
That's me blubbering like an idiot back here. But I still need to ask you about your swimming career.
Oh, my swimming career. So thank you for asking me.
No, you just snuck away without telling me.
I was really angry growing up. I was really mean, and I was really angry. I was really alcoholic. Not that I was drinking at the time, but I had those alcoholic, the isms that they call it. And the main one was anger. And what I was able to do was I was able to hone that anger into one sport, and that sport was swimming. And I became a really a national level swimmer ever since I was a little guy, like nationally ranked and all that. And my swimming career ended. I was winning 2 U.S. swimming national championships and being a member of the 95 United States swimming team. Wow. Ended up being the greatest Native American swimmer of all time, which is something that I'm very proud of right now.
Man, it's incredible pleasure meeting you and talking to you. I seriously cannot thank you enough.
You are so welcome.
And because the pay for this is so incredible, which I think is nothing, I think you deserve 3 times the amount for a raise. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.